This is a Cincy fan talking with LP. You can catch me on Twitter. That's a Cincy fan talking. You say it like it sounds, just leave off the G. If you have ideas for the show, you can reach me at Cincy_fan talk at yahoo.com. If you have any suggestions for the show, make sure you leave them there. Who knows, you might find yourself as part of the show. Any feedback would be definitely appreciated. And also, make sure you hit the Linktree page that's on my Twitter. Make sure you click on that. You can find all the different ways to contact me there. Enjoy the show. What's going on, everybody out there in podcast land? Welcome to another episode of a Cincy fan talking with LP. And of course, this is yours truly, LP. Hope everybody doing well on this Tuesday. Hope everybody living a fabulous life. Definitely appreciate you checking in with me for a good 30, 40, 45 minutes, however it is that we do. As I always say, you could be doing pretty much anything in the entire world, yet you're here listening to my podcast. So definitely 100% appreciate the good vibes you're throwing, and I just hope to throw them back at you. Gonna get into a little bit of video game talk. I'll be discussing why I'm not purchasing a game that I've pretty much purchased every year for the past 5-6 years. We're gonna talk a little bit of education. A little bit. I guess you can call this education. Yeah, I will. About purchasing power and whatnot. But first, we're gonna go ahead and jump into a little bit of the foosball. Now, I'm not really that high taste dude. I'm not here for the clicks. I'm not about to just put like a headline on my podcast to make you think I'm just about to talk crazy and then spit ridiculous mess. But I've been on Twitter for a little bit and been noticing there's a lot of hype for teams that shouldn't have the hype. So I'm gonna go ahead and discuss a couple of overrated teams this year. Teams that people think are gonna do really, really well, but I'm thinking you might want to slow your roll a little bit. I mean, that's just where I'm coming from. If you happen to follow your boy on Twitter, that would be a Cincy fan talking. Leave off the G. You know how I go. You'll notice me and the homie Jim, Bereft of the Dow, as I always talk about. Very excellent show on Twitch, so make sure you check out the Friday Night Music Party. If you've been watching us go back and forth, you know who the first pick is. Now, I'm not saying the Tampa Bay Buccaneers aren't going to be good. I'm not crazy. We're not crazy people. You feel me? I mean, they're going to be good. And they just got Julio Jones. I mean, they're going to probably have a good year. But people talking Super Bowl, people penciling them in like, yeah, they got the South locked up already. Very little competition for them in the NFC. The NFC is weaker than the AFC. I don't know about all that. I mean, that's a bit much. You got to understand some things. First off, they lost one of their best protectors to the Bengals. Alex Kappa, he's a Bengal now. So you got one less person that can give Tom Brady that time that he needs. That's number one. Number two, one of the best security blankets in the history of tight end security blankets is no longer with the squad. Rob Gronkowski's no longer there. So, offensively, you got Mike Evans, an absolute beast, good running backs. But the thing about it is, when you look at the other teams in the NFC, you can't even automatically pencil them in to win the South for real. People are really sleeping on the New Orleans Saints. I feel like they're going to have a good year. I'm not sold on their QB play. I don't think Famous James is going to take them where they need to go for real. I mean, I've heard people go like, yeah, well, when he was healthy, he led the league in touchdowns. Yeah, that was the same year he led the league in interceptions too. Just saying. I mean, you can't prop one without the other, you feel me? So, other than figuring out what they're going to look like on the quarterback front, excellent skill sets, excellent skill receivers and running backs and all that good stuff. The defense is going to be solid. The defense was really solid last year. So, and they have Michael Thomas coming back. I feel like the Buccaneers are going to really be in for it. I wouldn't put the crown on their heads just yet. I know everybody's like, they got Brady. That's all they need. I mean, I can't sit here on the pod and discount Brady. I can't do it. As much as I want to be like, oh no, he old. Until he can no longer do it consistently, I'm always gonna give him a shot. I'm just saying, this is a really overhyped team, and they're gonna have a tough schedule, and they're gonna be in a division that's tougher than people think. I will watch out for the NFC South. I don't think the Falcons are gonna be really good. I feel like the Panthers are going to be okay. I'm not like the biggest Baker Mayfield fan, but I'm not a Baker Mayfield hater either. I feel like he can get the job done if you surround him with the right pieces. And I think New Orleans is going to be good. So I would watch out if I were the Buccaneers. A team that I really think is going to be overrated this year. I don't think they're going to win a lot of not as many games as people think. Let me make sure I say that correctly, because I think all three of these teams that I mentioned are going to be good. I just don't think they're going to be as good as people say. And I would put the Baltimore Ravens in that same mix. They're getting the whole, they have everybody back. And since they have everybody back and they have an awesome quarterback, they're going to be great. And I'm like, not so fast. Here's my rationale on this here. Number one, you have a quarterback that is absolutely awesome. If you heard the pod last week, you know how I feel about Lamar Jackson. He's the absolute man. But when you look at the wide receivers, they don't have the wide receivers necessary to make the defenses worry about throwing the ball. Understand, this is not a knock on Lamar Jackson at all. In my opinion, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Real talk. I feel like he can throw the ball well. You ask him to throw the ball, he'll get it done. He's not a liability in the backfield whatsoever. It's not like he can only run and then throw a little bit. He can make all the throws. He can get it done. The problem's going to be, other than Mark Andrews, who is he going to throw to? Who's going to make themselves available for him to get the ball to him? And if you're turning the offense into a run-first offense, you got to understand, when you're playing in the AFC, you got the Bengals, you got the Chiefs, you have the Bills. There are going to be a lot of teams that they can score. And if Baltimore falls behind, it's going to be tough for them to get it done. They're going to end up being a team where they have to have the lead in order to be effective, or it has to be a one-score game. And if you can get up on them early, you can pretty much effectively end the game. That's why I think that the Baltimore Ravens, they're going to be okay because they're Baltimore. They're always okay. But I don't think they're going to be able to hit that next level. For my second reason. Yes, they had a lot of injuries. But when they didn't have a lot of injuries, they were losing to good teams. They were taking losses to the Bengals. They were taking losses to the Chiefs. They were taking losses to good teams before all the injuries hit. So I feel like people need to stow the paddle a little bit on, they're going to have everybody healthy, so they're going to be great. I don't know, it's a lot of competition out there. And I feel like I can see Baltimore being 9-8. I can see them being 10-7. This year, I don't think 10-7 is going to win the division. I feel like you're going to need at least 11 wins to win this division. And I feel like the Bengals and the Ravens are going to be right there. And I think the Bengals are just going to edge them out a little bit. My third team, I thought I was going to kind of piss off the homie Jim because I kind of had the Patriots there as the third team, and I kind of started thinking about it. Like, I don't really think they're overhyped. People kind of know what you have with New England. You have a QB that, if you put him in the right spot, he can get things done. And if he's not in the right spot, if you don't surround him with the weapons that he needs, if he doesn't have a lead, if they're not able to run the ball, then Mac Jones can't really get it done. I always want to accidentally say Mike Jones instead of Mac Jones. I don't know why you don't hear that so much. Like, I don't know why, like, sportscasters aren't saying Mac Jones. Who? I mean, that would be my, like, go-to. I mean, let me see if I can dial my 281 number real quick. Maybe later. But I would say my third team would be Miami. People are expecting a lot from the Dolphins because the Dolphins have Jalen Waddle now. They have Tyreek Hill now. They have a solid defense now. And people are thinking they're going to make the next jump super duper quick this year. And I'm like, whoa. When you're not proven at the quarterback position in the NFL, you can't really do that. I mean, take Cincinnati, for instance. Take my Bengals. Back when Dalton was doing his thing, back when they were consistently making it to the playoffs, maybe winning the division some years, maybe getting a wild card spot, there was always great skill set people around. You know, AJ Green, Marvin Jones, Giovanni Bernard, Jerome Simpson. I can just keep going. I mean, Tyler Eifert, solid skill position players. But the QB and Dalton, and look, man, I'm a Dalton apologist. Like, no lie. The whole time he was here, I'm like, look, man, get him an offensive line. You know what he can do. He'd be an MVP candidate, and he was one year. But he could never be the one that would get it done on his own. I mean, if you're playing in a divisional playoff like last year and Andy Dalton gets sacked 9 times, man, the Bengals losing by 30. It will be 37-7. Dalton will be running in the backfield all day long, throwing off his back foot, throwing picks. I mean, and that would be 90% of the QBs in the league. It's not even a knock on Andy Dalton. That would be most of the QBs in the league. You put that much pressure on the quarterback, done. Lights out. Burrow's a different dude. You get Burrow back there, sack him 9 times, he's popping back up like, look, I'm throwing a touchdown next play. I'm ready. Let's get it done. It takes a certain mentality to be that guy. And in Miami, I don't know if Tua's that guy. We don't know yet. And the reason we don't know yet is because he hasn't proven it yet. So until the QB for a team steps up and shows that they can lead the team to a victory under adverse conditions, I'm not about to just anoint that team. I'm not about to jump them over all the other teams in the AFC and go like, look, this is the squad that's making the playoffs and making some noise. I mean, it's been like this since I was a little kid. Real talk. You'll have a team that gets all of these players together, and it very rarely works. It worked for the Rams. I cannot think of another team where they pieced together a squad where they got somebody from Washington and they got somebody from Dallas and they got somebody from LA, and they put them all together and they won the whole kick and caboodle. It almost never works. So you got Miami doing that. You have a couple other teams doing that. It takes a while to build that thing that you need to make it all the way. And a lot of people can't do that. A lot of teams can't do that, which is why I'm like, it might not be Miami's time yet. Not yet. I feel like they're going to need a little bit of time to get it together. Maybe a year or two. And if this isn't Tua's year, he might not even be there to see it, you know? And I'm sure I'm going to get some people that go like, well, I mean, I think the Bengals are overhyped. And I'm like, hey, I get where you're coming from. I could see why somebody would say that about the Bengals. I mean, I can easily step outside of my diehard Bengals fan zone and step to the side and look at the squad and see everything that happened last year, and I could see how somebody would go like, I don't know if you can do that again. The Bengals won a lot of close games. The defense got some key turnovers in some spots where you really needed them. And these are two things that is really hard to replicate from year to year. I get that. And then you kind of add in the fact that you're dealing with a lot of young players. And I could see why people would say, hey, man, the Bengals, they're not going to get it done this year, not like last year. I feel like as Bengals fans, one, this is a good and a bad thing. I don't know if this is bad, but it's something we need to do as Bengals fans. Not necessarily temper expectations, but understand that if the Bengals don't make it to the Super Bowl this year, it's not necessarily a sucky season. All right. It's not like that. I would say, realistically speaking, a Super Bowl appearance is something that Bengals fans should not really expect, but they should be looking to shoot towards. But also, if the Bengals make it to the playoffs and they lose in the championship game, or if they take a really close L in a divisional playoff, it's not necessarily a bad season. You got to understand that the Bengals are still charting up and they still have a young squad. However, what you do have to understand about the Bengals as far as us fans is we felt like the next 2 years would be our year. We thought last year would be one of those years where we see growth. You know, they go from a 5-win team to a 7-win team, maybe an 8-win team. That's what we saw. We were like, maybe they can squeeze out 10, 10-7 would be great, but we'll take 8. So as a Bengals fan, we're looking like, as young as the squad was, they got it done and we didn't expect it. So naturally, you could see why expectations would be a little bit higher. I actually think the Bengals are underhyped as opposed to overhyped because, you have a lot of people jumping the Bills over the Bengals, jumping the Chiefs over the Bengals, basically jumping the entire AFC West over the Bengals. Real talk. Like, just everybody's getting jumped over the Bengals, the Bills, the Ravens. So you talk to some people and they go like, man, I don't see the Bengals being anything but the last wild card. So I definitely don't see that. I feel like they can take the division. It'll be really tough with Baltimore in there, but I don't think Baltimore is going to be as good as people think. The AFC is tough. I feel like the AFC is overrated overall. I mean, you got people going like the AFC West is going to win like all the playoff spots. Like all of the teams from the AFC West are making the playoffs. I'm like, get out of here. Like, be for real. I mean, you got 16 teams in the AFC. They're all going to beat up on each other. So the chances of all 4 teams in the AFC West making the playoffs, very, very slim. Especially when you factor in, I'm not sure that Denver's going to be that deal. Yeah, they got Russ. Russ can cook, but I'm not sure if their defense is going to be able to hold tight enough to get themselves in the playoff positioning. I like the Raiders better than I like the Chargers. Real talk. I mean, I feel like the Chargers are just so maddeningly inconsistent, man. I don't know. I feel like this is the year where it's going to be tough to make the playoffs if you don't win the division. I feel like that. But I feel like it's going to be like it always is. You're going to have 2 teams at the top, 3 or 4 teams at the bottom, and then a massive middle. I don't think it's going to be like everybody's so good. It's gonna be like those middle spots are just so. Is middly a word? Like it's just gonna be not average, but everybody's gonna be playing at kind of like the same level. Man, it's the NFL. If I don't see why people bet on the NFL, man, for real. Like it's just so crazy. You like the Bengals lost to the Jets last year, and they had an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter with 6 minutes left, and they lost. I don't know. And then the Bengals come through and just get ransacked by the Browns. Just just torn to shreds. And the Bengals made the Super Bowl. How do you bet on a league like this? I look at the people that's like putting out their future bets or whatever for the season, going like, listen to me because I win. I'm like, y'all have no clue. We basically just watching the soap opera for real, and we don't know what's gonna happen in the soap opera, but we all watch. That's basically what the NFL is. I feel like the NFL really just wants 16, 9, and 8 teams and 16, 8, and 9 teams, right? So the last week of the season, everybody's just glued because every single team can make the playoffs. That would be like the ideal NFL world. So, I mean, I root for my squad, but you won't see me betting on the NFL. It's just too crazy. You never know what's gonna happen. It's wild. But look out for the teams that I said to maybe not do as well. I gotta kind of hit it hard to see which teams may be overachievers, like those teams that nobody's really thinking about. I got the Saints as one, which would be crazy because the Saints play the Bengals. I'll see if I can throw y'all two more for next week. We'll see how that go. Hey, you got a Cincy fan talking with LP. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Princess and I'm Queen. This is Daddy.
You have to say, and this is a Cincy fan talking with LP.
And this is a sensitive fan talking with LP Daddy.
Nice job.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, welcome back to the pod. Um, this next sentence will trigger shouts and cheers from some people and moans and groans from others, depending on what you do for a living. But here's the sentence: school is almost back. Yeah. And I can hear the cheers from some parents, so they go like, "Man, this kid, oh, I love them, but they need something to do. Like, go play with your friends at school." And then you got the teachers, us. We like, dang, it just started. Summer vacation just started. It's almost over. Yeah, it's the end of July, and we rounding the corner to the beginning of August, and then that depression / excitement pops up again. And what I'm noticing, going through my Twitter and whatnot, is that I'm starting to see a whole lot of like teacher wish list and hashtag clear the list pop up, where teachers will put up their list and, they need these items for school, to do their job effectively, you need certain things. And, people, lovely random people are going through and buying items on the list for these teachers, to help them clear their list so they can get everything they need for their kids and get the year out to a great start. That whole chestnut. I have never posted, I've never even made an Amazon wish list for school purposes. Like, I'll do it to remind myself that I need to buy this for myself or for the family or a gift for somebody or something like that. But I've never created a wish list of items that I need for my classroom. And I definitely haven't did that and posted it up for somebody to get for me. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. As teachers, you just wouldn't believe the amount of money, and we don't even really think about it. Like, I'll walk into a store and I'll just absentmindedly pick up stuff that I know I'm gonna need for class. I'll just I got so many dry erase markers, y'all. Like I, I got colors you wouldn't even know existed. I got burnt sienna dry erase markers, man. I got magenta. Like you name the color, I got it. I I got so many dry erase marker stains in my pockets from just leaving dry erase markers in my pockets, and the cap will fall off, and I got little dots on my right and left side. I've done that. I see it as an occupational hazard at this point. Some people work construction and their hands are kind of rough, and they go like that's part of the job. I'll have marker spots on my hands all the time. I'll be somewhere and I'll go like, dang, I got a marker in my pocket. It's just part of the trade at this point. Like my wife just look at me. She a teacher too. She look like, dude, you just bought markers. I'm like, I just need more. Like, I just need that variety in my life. I don't know. You just absentmindedly start picking up stuff that you need. And my wife made a really good point when we were talking about it. She was like, if anybody in any occupation needed stuff to make their job better, they probably wouldn't wait for somebody else to buy it. Like they wouldn't wait for the school to buy it on their own. They would just go out and get it. So, I mean, it's not like it's unique to the teaching profession. But for me, it's more like it angers me that we have to put up wish lists. Like that makes me upset that this has to be a thing. Like I feel like I don't do it because I just don't want to normalize it, man. Like I just don't want it to be like, well, teachers are underpaid, but they can get what they need from somebody else. It's almost like being a waiter or a waitress. It's like that. Tipping is the thing to do. You will never hear me go like, man, why I got a tip? Unless, and I put this on Twitter, I just don't like the fact that I have to tip, DoorDash folks and people that bring you food. I don't like that I have to tip them before they bring my food. That makes me upset. I don't mind tipping. I really don't. They're doing something for me. They're bringing me my food so I don't have to go out and get it. I don't mind tipping you. I appreciate you. Good looking out. I tip my barber on a regular basis. We to the point where I don't even know how much I pay for a haircut, man. I really don't. I give him some money, 40, something like that. He'll offer me change. I'll refuse the change, and that's it. I don't know how much the haircut is anymore. I really don't. Because I just give him some money, and I say keep it all. That's the tip. I'm probably overpaying for the haircut, but it's like whatever, because hey, we've been riding strong for almost 2 decades now. So hey, take the money, we cool. I just don't like tipping people before they do the job. Like, I don't want to pay you before you do the job. What if you do it poorly? You still got my tip, but you left out half the order. That enrages me. I don't want to have to tip you first, man. And it's not like I'm gonna go like, okay, you rang the doorbell too long. That's $2 off the tip. Nah, I'm gonna pay you the regular thing. Even if the food's not warm, you still gonna get your money. But I want to make sure you do a good job. But anyway, I feel like it shouldn't be our responsibility to make sure that waiters and waitresses get their just due. It shouldn't be on us. It should be the company or the restaurant's job to pay them a fair wage and then charge us a little bit more for our food. That's what it should be. I mean, if my steak was $18.95 and then they jumped it up to $24.95 because they have to pay the waiters and waitresses a fair wage, that's fair to me. Like, that's cool. That's fair. That's how it should be. You don't go in and buy a pair of shoes and go like, okay, your pair of shoes is $40. And if you want to tip them, you can. But if you don't, then they just won't eat. No, it don't work that way. I feel like teachers are getting done the same way. We're not getting paid what we should to do a service that is instrumental in the lives of our entire nation. However, we get underpaid, and then it's expected that good-hearted good Samaritans go out and help us get what we need. I don't think that's fair for the good Samaritans. It shouldn't be on them to help us. That's what I'm saying. Like, I really appreciate stuff like that, but I don't really think it's their job to do what school districts and other folks should be doing for us. That's the part that kind of makes me upset about these Amazon wish lists. The fact that they exist in the first place. And it's why I really haven't done one. I feel very uncomfortable going like, hey, I need this, I need this, I need that. Will you help me? It's not their job to help me. I'd rather do it myself before I go ask somebody else, because that's just kind of how I roll. The wish list, however, is something that it really helps other people become involved in the educational process so they can understand, this teacher needs this. And if you can help them do it, you're helping that classroom function better. I think that's an awesome thing. I just think it's messed up that they have to do that. I mean, we live in a nation where a teacher, like, on average, and this is just a rough average, me thinking about the stuff I would spend on my classroom a year, I probably throw out about 700-800 on supplies per year. That's just a rough estimate. We get to write off $250 for taxes. $250 for taxes. No matter how much you spend, you get to write off $250 for taxes. And since we're married, we get to write off $500. But she's a teacher as well, so we're probably spending about $1,200 to $1,400 on supplies for kids in our class. This doesn't count the kids that we have. See what I'm saying? We get to write off $500 for taxes. It is ridiculous. It kind of shows you how much America values education, and not the people, but like, the government and the federal institutions. You're expected to do more with less. But how do you do more with less? Like, it's impossible to do more with less. You do less with less. Like, that's what happens. Like, you think somebody go like, okay, you were studying, 12 hours a week and you're getting B's. We're going to cut that to 6, and I expect you to get A's. It doesn't work that way, man. Like, you don't do more with less. You can do less with less. The less I give you, the less you can perform. That's how it would normally go. And I just think it's kind of messed up that, we're to the point where we have to go online and say, hey, this stuff is here. If you could really help me out, because I'm not getting help, for a profession that I really want to do. I just think it's really messed up. And again, if you're somebody that likes to give to an Amazon wish list, please keep doing it, because we really need it. I'm simply saying that it's messed up that we have to ask you. And it's not a knock on you, because we appreciate you, mysterious person that's helping out on wish list. We're just simply saying we wish we lived in a society where we didn't have to ask you, because we were getting it from the places that we work. That's basically what I'm saying. So that's my spiel on that. Shout out to everybody that's donating and clearing those lists. As teachers, I can tell you we definitely appreciate it. So keep doing it. And on my last note, we're gonna jump into a game that I've pretty much bought for the past 6 years. The more I can think about it. For the past 6 years, I've bought the edition of NBA 2K. Every single year. Now, if you're a gamer, you understand how it goes with sports franchises. When you buy a sports game every single year, you're really only buying a roster update, man. Like, for real. That's all you're really getting. The game is more or less the same. And the messed up part about 2K is 2K plays like like if you have a game on your phone, like a Candy Crush game or like some type of game that you have where you can play it for free if you want to, and you can just keep progressing. You can keep playing the game, and you can earn items that way, to make your game easier and better. Or you could also go another route and purchase one of those little offers that they have, like get infinite lives for the next 10 days if you pay this amount of money. You could also do that. You pay money and you make your experience better because it's easier. That's basically what NBA 2K is. You buy the game for a certain amount of money, and then you can just play that game and keep earning stuff to make your journey better. Or you can buy one of the many offers that pop up in the game like all the time, and you can buy things to make your experience easier. But here's the trick, y'all. If you're playing online against other people, you almost have to do that, because the only way you can be competitive is if you're spending extra money on the game, because everybody else is, and they're like killing people on the game because they have all the attributes, they have all the stuff to make you better. But if you don't want to spend that, you can still get better, but it takes a long time. And 2K is realizing that people are going to spend that money. Kids are going to bug their parents. They're going to get the credit card. They're going to spend that money. They really want to get better. They want to beat their friends. They want to play against other people online. And for me, I understand all of this. Being an adult with my own income, and I don't have to really ask anybody, I check in with the wife and go, hey, I'm gonna get this, and she kind of look at me like, dude, why you telling me? Like, like you're a grown man, cuz like, if you want to spend that. Like, it's our money. I'm like, all right, just let you know, and we just go back and forth like that. She'll be like, hey, I'm gonna get this, and I'm like, why are you telling me? And it's weird that our back and forth go like that. We'll just check in and like tell each other like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna get this, and we'll just kind of look at each other like, information that I really don't need. Like, just do you. We don't really care. But I got my own disposable income, and I can go ahead and do what I please with it. I don't have to ask my mom or anything like that. So I just buy the game every year because I just like to play it. Like, there's certain things that you like to do, and it just gives me like joy in my heart. Like, I'm kind of sadistic this way. Like, it gives me joy in my heart to like beat some kid that lives in Phoenix to smithereens in the game, and then they find out I'm a grown man and their heart just kind of sinks. Like, I got beat by this old fogey. Yeah, you sure did, champ. Sorry to tell you. But the more and more I play the game, the more I realize, like, I just go through the same cycle, man. Like, I'll get the game in September, and I'll play it hard. It'll be fun. I'll keep playing it. And then the longer the year goes, the less I play it, because I'm like, it's the same stuff. They're just offering the same things year after year. And it's not a knock on the game saying that the game is trash, because if it was trash, I wouldn't buy it every year. But it's like every year, once I hit late April, early May, I just stop playing the game. I don't even play it. It just sits there like, in my console, and I'm just playing other stuff. Like, I played GTA for years, and the game just feels different. You can play it a different way. You can do whatever. I played that for years, and they haven't made another GTA since. I remember when GTA 5 first came out, and there was this boy in my class. This was like 7 years ago or something like that. He had the little liner notes where, it shows the entire map of the city or whatever. He had it laid out on his desk, just looking at it and circling stuff like we weren't in math class learning. But he was just real loud going like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do first when I get home. I'm going to hit this. He's talking to his boy. He's like, yeah, I'm going to hit this spot. I'm going to see if I can get some money from there. Then I'm going to roll over here and do this mission. And I'm telling the whole class, I'm like, shh, Be quiet, y'all. Be quiet. And he just talking. The other kid stopped talking. He sit up straight, looking at me like he was learning. Like, dude, I already saw you. But he did his boy so dirty, man. He's not tapping his boy and going like, hey, look up, Mr. Parker looking at you. He's just still talking. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Why you not listening? But anyway. And I'm like, hey, yo. And he look up like, oh. I'm like, run it. Just give it to me. Why you going to take it? I'm like, look, man, we're not having this discussion, man. Just give it up and face further consequences. It's not about to be a big thing. Like, do what I ask or take a consequence. So he gives it up, folds it up. You know, it's one of those real big ones. He folds it up and gives it to me. I'm like, man, this is pretty good stuff. I'm going to use this for later. No. I'm like, I'll give it back to you, man. Chill out. But we got learning to do. This was like 7 years ago. The game is the same. You know, they add extra tweaks to it or whatever, but they haven't put out another one since then. And we still playing it heavy because it has that much playability. These NBA 2K games, I'm done playing with them a few months after I get them. And it just got to a point where I was like, the game's not changing. And what I'm not about to do is keep paying for a product that's not changing. It's just like the wish list thing. It enables them to keep doing the same trash. Like, and the game's not trash, but it's trash that they won't give you like a new experience. You know, they'll do a little weird stuff like, you know, we're going to make the city different. And it's the same thing. So at some point you got to go like, look, I'm not about to keep paying for the same thing. When you change it, then I'll hop back on board. So I already bought 2K23. Low key, they had the NBA League Pass, and I'm like, I can't pass that up. That can be a Christmas present for somebody. And you're only getting it for like $50. Like, come on. But I think after this year, unless this 2K23 is like ridiculously amazing or something like that, I think I'm gonna just hop off the 2K train. I'll just play 2K23 for the next couple years because I was looking at all the old games, 22, 21, 20. I'm like, this is the same game. My wife walks past me when I'm playing 2K22 and she literally said, oh, I thought this was the one from last year. I'm like, dang. She's like, I can't tell the difference. I'm like, low key, me either. And we on the PS5. It looks exactly the same. So, this is not me putting the all points bulletin out for people to stop buying it. You're going to do what you do. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. Like, that would be crazy. All I'm saying is this. If you wait to buy 2K23 until Christmas time, you can pay half of what you would pay today. And then if you wait until like March, you can get the game for about 70% of what you pay for today. And you really won't be missing anything because I can almost guarantee that the game is pretty much the same as what you're seeing now. So keep that little nugget in your head. I only bought it because, hey, the league pass was hard to pass up. Just saying. But after this year, I think I'll just follow that mode where if I really want that game, like if I really want to buy it, I'll just wait until Christmas time or March or something like that. Because what's the point of just paying the same? What's the use of just paying that price for the same thing? What I really wish, my real wish, is that there was another game out that was comparable that would make them lower their price. Or make them stop doing that crazy stuff where you got to buy stuff in the game to get better. Because I remember 2K being trash. And I remember NBA Live being that deal. And this kind of dates your boy LP. But we play NBA Live all the time. And 2K was just, And then 2K came out and started lowering their price, which made EA either have to A, get better, or B, get up out of there. But basically EA said, forget all that. We're just gonna focus on Madden. That's basically what they did. But without competition, people can pretty much do whatever they want. Like 2K got the game by by the hind parts. And they're like, we gonna do this because what else you gonna play? Competition is healthy, man. Like, it really is. If they understand and know that there's nothing else on the market, they can do what they feel. And that's really a life lesson. Without competition, people just get lazy, like, for real. And that's what's happening here. So that's really my spell on that, man. 2K will be the last game that I buy from them for a grip. And we'll just see how it go. Unless this is like an amazing game, which it probably won't be. But I'll let you know how it goes in September when it drops. We out the door for this week. Again, if you want to chat with your boy, you can hit me on Twitter. You know, that's a Cincy fan talking. Leave off the G, and it's all good. You can hit me up and tweet with your boy while we live tweeting through New York Undercover, which we doing on Fridays. And, you know, leave a message, like, subscribe, all that. So make sure you hit the little bell so you can know when we dropping every week. And as always, y'all, life is good. Peace out. If you're not ready for the conversation to end, I'm not either. Make sure to catch me on Twitter. That's a Cincy fan talking. Leave off the G at the end of it, and we can keep the conversation going. Also, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button so you can catch the next episodes. The episodes will drop every Tuesday. If there's a change in that, I'll make sure to let you know. Appreciate the support. As always, life is good.